Hello, well today I'm going to make a bread that I've only made once, but I liked it so much I wanted to show it to you. You have to let it rise 2 times, so that does take 2 hours, but the rest of it is so easy. Now, what we have here, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour in my stand mixer. I have 1 tablespoon of Xanthun Gum. That's what this is. Now it calls for vital wheat gluten, but you can use Xanthun Gum, and gluten-free. I think this is used in gluten-free baking a lot, but they call for it and I used it and it turned out great. 1 cup of 5-grain blend, 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 2 teaspoons instant yeast, 1/3 cup dry non-fat milk. My 1 1/4 cup of lukewarm water is off to the side waiting to be used. And I have 3 tablespoons of oil. Now this is so hard, what you do is you're going to dump everything into this bowl. By the way, this is grease, that's what I will bake it in. And this is grease, this is where I'll do my first rise. Now I don't have the wood stove going, so what I'm doing is I put my oven on the lowest heat, and when it gets to that heat I turn it off and then I let it rise in there. So what we're going to do, it's so unceremonious, but we'll do it. Remember my flour's in here. I'm putting in the milk, the sugar, the xanthan gum, the salt, the yeast, the 5-grain, the water, and the oil. And let me get more of that in there. Now I'm going to turn on my mixer on low with the dough hook and let it go for a while until it's smooth looking. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes. Let's do that. I should have a drum roll here. It's been an hour. Ta-da! We're going to take it out and put it on an oily surface. Now I'm going to shape it into a loaf that fits in here, like a log. And since I like even so much, I'll try to make this really even. There, that looks good, right there. I'm going to put it into my pan that's already been greased. Get that out of the way. Now I'm going to put this back in my warming oven. There. And it's going to sit here for an hour. Be back. Okay, my bread is all set to go into the oven at 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake it for 35 to 40 minutes. Now, it rose really nice. It smells really good too with those 5-grain cereal in there. So I'm going to put this in the oven. I had it in the oven in this pan for an hour. Let's get that oven heated up and put this in. Sorry, this is done just as my dishwasher's going. I think it's kind of quiet though, but this was in for 45 minutes. Look at that. And do you remember how to tell when a loaf is done? It should sound hollow, and this does. So I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to let it cool on my rack. Now I like to smear a little butter over it while it's warm, but we're going to let this cool off, and I will cut it with my electric knife in my Fancy Dan cutter machine. By the way, this is my Fancy Dan bread slicer machine with my electric knife. I've had this probably decades and decades. Okay, let's get closed in on this bread. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. The smell is wonderful. It's a heavy bread. Physically, it's heavy. But I used this to make a toasted cheese the other day. Oh man, I only used 1 slice because it's thick enough, and that was plenty. And then I made a toasted cheese with a slice of ham. Even better. I think you're going to want to give this one a try. It's really good. Not much work. You have to let it rise a couple times. 5-grain bread. Till next time, bye-bye.